Hi and welcome to another video of Type with me. In this video we will talk about web components with Stenciljs. Let's go! So when you go to the website of Stenciljs, you will see that it's a tool chain to build reusable scalable design systems. Because it's built on 100% standard based web components that run in every browser. It's very easy to use. It has TypeScript under the hood, and it just builds out plain web components. So you write TypeScript code with a lot of good things around and from different front-end frameworks, and then it just builds out plain web components. Now, let's get started and work with Stenciljs, right? So the first thing that we need to do is do an npm init stencil. So we do that. You'll see that we have a choice of three things. We can do ionic PVA, because Stencil is created by the Ionic team. And you need to know that before Ionic was being based upon Angular, but now they want to broaden things up so that you can create an Ionic application on top of Vue.js or on top of React. So you can also choose to have a minimal starter application, or you can choose to have a collection of web components that can be used anywhere. So we are going to choose the components part. Project name is just Type with me. And I confirm. So great. Here we have our stencil application. We have your components, and this is my component, right? So as you see, a component is based upon TSX. So it has a little bit of the principles of React and JSX, right? Of course, now we need to do npm install. And now we can do npm run start. See that he will start our dev server initializing first builds. And here we have hello world, I am Stencil, don't call me a framework JS. Because it's not a framework, it's more of and of course, when you have errors, you will say that he found errors. So you see we have an error right here. So no problem. What we need to do is now upgrade type nodes. It will upgrade the type nodes to the latest version. If we now do npm run start, you will see that it just will work. Great. So imagine that we want to generate a new component. We can just do npm run generate, and then our component tag dash case. So what we want to do now is random dash number, for example. And so whenever we refresh the page, we want to generate a random number and show a random number to our end users. So now we get the instructions highlight option. So what we can do is we can say, okay, we want to do that. We want to have all of it. And now we will have a new component, numbers, which is of the tag random number, of course, and it has some basic code within it, hosts here. So remember that what we want to do here is maybe say we want to have a random number between 0 and 10 or 11 or 12 or whatsoever. So then we can just define a property that's gonna be our attribute, right? So we can do something like that, prop. And then that's and it's of a type number, right? So that's great. I also want to change here this class to random number, of course. Before I'm going to put it away, I want to explain what slot is. Slot is something where you can put things between the two tags. So for example, here we have our web component random number, and when we want to put something in between the tags, then it will become here. So div will become a citizen of slot here, right? When we are using random number somewhere. But I'm now going to remove that. What I want to do now is doing the following thing. I want to do something like this, div, and then I want to put random number, for example, having here a method random generate random number return. So now I can put here this method. I can put here equals 10, and then we can just have something like this. I also want to duplicate this because I want to have something like start. We're gonna start from 1, and I can put something like plus this dot start. Then of course here I can put something like this dot generate random number. And we can call random number, right? Right. So I can start start, but you will see that nothing else happened or changed. We have our new component, but we don't see it on the screen at the moment. So that's a little bit of a pity, but that's normal. Let me explain you why. We don't have it here. So now I can do something like random number, and I can do and equals 7, make it, because it's a great number, number 7. I'm gonna save it, and you will see he will rebuild it. He will refresh our index.html page within Chrome, and we can look at it, and you will see that we have a new number there. And I can put something in between slots, so something like great. And now you see that we have 6 and then great, but it's clicking next to each other, right? So we can very easily fix that by doing something like this, and BSP, for example. And now you see that we have this. When we refresh it, we get 3. When we refresh it, we get 2. Another thing that we can do, of course, is say what our start number is. So our start number is 3, for example. So It's a new thing, right? But it's very easy. So you see what the possible things are. So one of the things that we can do here, for example, is demo of Stenciljs by type with me. Save it. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you. Bye.